Also, you mean so the thing on the screen there? That's not part of the phone's like design. That like that that's a
I dropped it this morning.
really
Like that, yeah.
oh man.
So I guess it's the screen that's actually going out or whatever.
Okay, yeah, but it still captures.
Yeah, it still captures.
Well, yeah, I guess since like I said, like I'm kind of new to the whole Tejano genre.
Yeah.
It's always kind of hard for me to find my footing when it comes to talking about it. So, what has been your relation with Tejano music? How did that begin, and where it's led you up to this point?
Oh man, I remember being, 5, 6 years old in Lubbock, Texas. That's where I grew up in the Lubbock, Texas area. So I remember being that old and not watching, but listening to Tejano music on vinyl.
Yeah.
And it was more of an escape for me because my uncle did it to get me out of the way, like to instead of being a bad kid or getting in trouble or whatever, he would take me to his room. He would drop some a needle on the vinyl and put some headphones on me, and that's how it started, and then
Yeah.
once I started learning the words, I started singing, and I've been singing for a really long time, but not professionally, like on a stage or anything. But I've been singing, since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I love singing. So now it's evolved into something that also has become my release. Like my you get frustrations and things going on in life. So when I get on stage, I let it rip, dude.
Yeah.
Like I let it go, and it's become like my release. Like
Yeah.
just my safe place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So the Tejano music has been in my life since the '70s, '80s.
Yeah.
Little Joe Bravo. The Royal Gestures. All of those old artists who are still around. Most of the new Tejano artists, those are forgotten.
Yeah.
Like the new music coming in, they've kind of forgotten the old music. And
Yeah.
that's really what I want to bring back.
Gotcha.
Like people don't redo Little Joe's songs. They don't redo Joe Bravo songs just because number one they're old, and number two they're so good they don't want to mess them up.
Exactly.
So they're afraid to touch them. But I've found confidence in what I do, and I'm gonna give it a whirl, dude. I'm gonna try to bring back a bunch of old music, from '70s and '80s,
Oh,
So
that's an interesting topic here because, like, as I was trying to do some research and speaking to other people as well, usually the Tejano and Conjunto are kind of put in the same category, but they're still separate in their
right,
styles.
right.
But I've heard that Conjunto is easily more immersible to people sometimes because there's a lot of traditions that hold on to it, and when Tejano specifically, people have felt that it could have been a hit or miss depending on like if you prefer synthesizers or if you prefer
Right,
the trumpets and
Right,
horns.
right.
And so it's had a rocky road in that sense. So when it comes to paying tribute to the Tejano genre specifically, uh, how do you try to move it forward when trying to keep that audience like
Well,
still intact?
the way I've experienced it,
Yeah.
and I've been on this little road for like going on 3 years now, and I worked at OK Corral, which is a Tejano hotspot for live music. Every Friday they have Tejano music bands there,
Yeah.
and I was working there as a bouncer, man. And so I got to meet a lot of the fans, but as well as a lot of the artists.
Yeah.
Signal. I mean, everybody you can imagine has come to OK Corral, and I ended up working with them. So the advice
At the venue or working at the place?
I was working at the venue. I was a bouncer, but
Uh-huh.
whenever them guys are off stage, I was detail security. So
Cool.
I got to be on a personal level.
Gotcha. Did you
So-
ever get to personally play at that venue?
No, not yet. That's
I
not.
mean,
But it's
that's,
it's on my to do list, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So my bucket list. That's what it is. Because I mean, just to go back to OK Corral where it all started.
Yeah,
I
back to
started.
those roots.
Yeah, the roots again, once again. So it's like the advice that the groups gave me, and that the people, the feedback from the people give me. There's just no way you can please both sides. There's no way in hell. Because if you do it for the crowd, the mainstream, the mainstream, the people that are involved in it,
Yeah.
they're gonna have something to say. And if you do it for the mainstream people, the crowds, they're gonna be like, hey, well,
Yeah,
So
'cause
there's
it's
really
unknown to us or it's foreign.
right, right. It's really like you said, a hit or miss, but it's also like what I'm experiencing is you have to do what you feel.
Yeah.
You have to sing what you feel. You can't sing to please the crowd. You can't sing to please the elders or whatever you want to call them. You can't do that. What I'm learning is you have to please yourself on stage, because if you go up there and you just go through the motions, singing regular songs, people can tell, he's not enjoying what he's doing,
Yeah.
and when people go to see live music, that's what they want to see. They want to see somebody up there enjoying what they're doing, so they can enjoy it with them, They don't want just somebody up there singing, regular. It's a totally different world up there.
No, definitely.
And I'm glad that number one, I got the opportunity to experience that, and number two, that I get to give that to people as well.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm just doing local karaoke, over there where I live in Dripping Springs. But when I get up there, the people get up and dance. The people are there singing with me, So
Yeah.
so that's a different feeling than just getting up there and going through the motions. Like they're really there for a show. So
You ever play in Austin venues?
not yet. Not yet. I'm trying to work this way, but
Yeah.
it's still it's kind of new to me. Like I'm saying,
Oh yeah,
so it's just something that I don't want to take off sprinting in something I don't know anything about. So it's all baby steps.
I got
Baby
you.
steps, baby steps. So that's where it's at right now.
Wow. And so, are you specifically an accordion player, or what instruments do you play?
I'm actually not an accordion player. I'm learning the accordion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bought the accordion about 3 months ago, 4 months ago now.
Uh-huh.
So I'm barely learning. So I can't consider myself an accordion player because I've seen the top notch accordion players and those guys, but I am a student of it. I'm learning it. It's like it's just something that I never expected when I bought it. I didn't expect it for it to grab me like it did.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up like a kid at Christmas. I wake up and my accordion's right there beside my bed. So,
Yeah.
the first thing I do is pick it up. Start playing it around and stuff. So it's all a learning experience, dude. And I don't know where it's headed. This is not my plan.
Oh no, I understand. So, just for the context, so I can have something in the article for context. Like, so, how do you personally immerse yourself into the Tejano music? Like, are you a singer mostly?
Yes, I'm more of a vocalist. Yeah.
Vocalist.
Yeah.
And so, who's your band, or who do you partner up with?
No one yet. No one yet. I have just producers who have let me get in their booth. Record myself, not for publication, just so I can study myself.
Refine that
You
argument.
refine myself. So I have a lot of big names. As far as there's one is a Grammy Award winner that lives in Daily Texas. He's 26 years old. I think he's 26, 27 years old. He's got a Grammy Award already through the Tejano music industry.
Who is he?
Mario Vigil.
Mario Vigil.
Yeah. Mario Vigil, and I can Facebook him and hook you up with him if you'd like to get an interview with him, because he's Ruben Ramos's producer, and he's also the bass player for Jay Pettis, and he does a lot of work for a lot of different people, but those two names are probably the biggest names in Tejano music right now, Ruben Ramos and Jay Pettis. So that's who he works with, and he earned a Grammy last year for Ruben Ramos' CD that they put out last year. So,
Yeah. First, I have to cross-reference because I think our newspaper has covered like the Tejano heritage on one other occasion before. So I had to make sure that whoever they talk to, that I don't cross-reference
Right.
them, because then
Right.
otherwise it's like I'm just repeating myself.
Right.
And I want to be able to follow the growth of the genre too.
Right.
So also, oh, you were mentioning the Tejano trails. I wasn't sure what you meant.
Okay, check it out. Right here, this area before the interstate was there
Yeah.
was how everything got into Austin, Texas, was by the river.
Yeah.
Whatever they were shipping. So right here was actually where 35 and Ladybird Lake meet.
Uh-huh.
Was actually the dock where everything got shipped off You know, everything came off ship and everything got distributed. So
Towards Austin.
towards Austin, towards South Austin, North
Cool.
Austin. I'm talking about fish, coffee, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever products that were needed in the city
Like, yeah.
came through right here. Well, the people that were working there were Tejanos, Texans, Mexican Texans. And they were known as Tejanos, which started coincidentally populating all of this area because this is where they worked, so this is where they lived.
Yeah.
So they historically made what's called the Tejano Trail, which actually goes all the way to Lamar, back around this way to Cesar Chavez downtown, and then back around this way on the east side. So there's a tour that they do. It's called the Tejano Trail Tour. You can get on Facebook, and that's how I reached out to them. I didn't know what it was either until I actually asked them what it was. You know, there's little plaques on the ground where you can actually walk yourself, and it'll take you to where different things are. Like it starts right there at the river, and it goes down. You know, you walk down to Lamar, and then back this way. So at every little station they have things to where, okay, it's telling you this is where the fish went, or this is where the coffee went, or you know, like little plaques. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just telling you what was here, what was done by the Tejanos and things like that. So it's a pretty cool little history lesson because the city started right here. You know, like right downtown. You know?
Yeah. Also, an aspect of from what I've learned from like a lot of the musicians is that a lot of the reasons why they never went through the ups and downs of like this, like I guess in terms of when you're talking about like the traditional conjunto genre in Tejano, and the ones and the other guys that became like famous in the '90s, like Selena and La Mafia,
La Mafia,
and all that stuff. They went through. I feel like they went through more ups and downs in rock music because they were a prominent figure, then they were kind of dissolved and faded.
Yeah.
But a part of what kind of kept the Tejano part of the conjunto still prevalent is that there's a sense of humility to it, where they're not just musicians, but they weren't afraid to also be laborers and still work for a living and never get carried up like rock stars.
Exactly, because I mean, the one thing that I think it was Gary Hobbs told me when I met him at OK Corral, and I told him I was on this music venture, and you know it was going pretty well.
Yeah.
He told me the number one thing you have to do is to remember to stay humble.
Yeah.
He said because as soon as you get up there behind that mic and the light hits you, you do your gig, you come off, all of those eyes are still watching you. No matter where you go, those people are still watching you. So you have to be humble in yourself. You know, you can't walk around like you're cocky or whatever, because they're gonna see that, and then they're not even gonna want to see you behind the mic. You know?
And you can't fake that.
You can't fake
and then
that.
Get off.
You can't. So you have to stay humble, because money will corrupt anything, you know. Anything. And I think that's one thing that they really preach, is to stay humble. That way it doesn't corrupt you, you know. Go to work, you know, pay your bills. And this is a pastime, you know. This is something we do for fun, you know. The money's good, you know what I'm saying, and there are some people who do it for money. But I want to do it because of the way it makes me feel, and the way that I see it affects the crowd. That's why I'm doing it. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't plan to get rich. I don't plan to get, you know, be a millionaire or anything like that. If I can get a little bit of money and buy my mom a house, a car, and put my kids through college, I'm good. You know, everything else is luxury after that. You know,
are you currently married right now?
I'm not, dude. I have 2 kids, but I'm not married. So
how old are your kids?
My son is 11, and my daughter just turned 5.
Cool.
Yeah.
So he's got the big brother role right now.
Yeah, the big brother role. He's a great kid, man. He's a great kid. I miss him a lot.
Also, so what do you do as a day job?
Right now, I just got back into town, dude. So I'm between jobs. Like I was stuck in West Texas for a week, you know. So the person that I was helping, I already hired somebody else. But as far as like my background, I can do anything. I can pour concrete. I can run electrical wire. I can wait tables. I can cook. You know, I can anything that needs to be done. I can do it. And as far as like my skills are considered, I have a wide range of skills. Dude.
Yeah.
So.
And when it comes from separating yourself from your day-to-day work to getting into like the Tejano field, like how is that transition on, or how are they married and complement each other? I'll tell my mom afterwards.
You know, it's kind of a it's kind of that's tricky. That's a tricky question for me because right now I'm still on the hunt.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still on the hunt to get up there and to do those things. As far as how to separate and prepare yourself, I just do it all mentally. You know,
Yeah.
it's all mental for me, and whether I'm working or I'm at home, you know, preparing, I'm running every scenario through my head. You know, every scenario, whether I'm the scenario of knocking it out or the scenario of actually, you know, messing up and how I'm going to handle that thing, you know,
Yeah.
because those things happen, you know, you up there on a stage one day and you freeze, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
so there has to be some kind of recovery process, you know, thought process that you're going to have to someday execute, you know what I mean? It may not be today or tomorrow, but one day something's going to happen to where you're just going to have to pick it up, you know, like I call it recovery. You're gonna have to recover somehow or another. You
Yeah.
know? So as far as separating the two, I think it becomes one, dude. You know, because Tejano music to me is like it's a part of me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I could be working, I'll be singing Tejano. You know, I could be whatever, but I'm singing. You know, and it's become a part of me. So I really can't. I can't really describe any more than that, you know, like how to separate it because to me right now it's all the same path, you know. It's
Yeah.
and I think it's vital that I keep it, you know, really close, not to where they merge together because I think that's
Oh yeah.
when things become like, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that. No, these are things I want to do, you know.
Yeah, yeah, to
I don't
enjoy
ever
it.
to enjoy it. I don't ever want to feel like I have to do it or I have to do this. No, these are things that I want to do, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. So how did? Because I heard about you through the Austin like Tejano Music Coalition,
Right.
and they posted videos of the Tejano idols,
Right.
and so you were one of them. How did you ever get to interact with the Tejano Music Coalition like personally?
oh
or-
yeah. Miss Aggie, she's the best, dude. Like really, like she's so understanding. She's so helpful. She's number one a fan. You know, a fan of Tejano music. So I think that passion that she has shows in the things that are happening right now in Tejano music. Not only with the coalition, but you know, in Tejano music period, because there seems to be a huge explosion going on right now in the Tejano music industry. And I'm not saying that it's because of me or because of her, but I think all of us together, you know, pushing that issue, you know, making it known that hey, you know what, Tejano music is still here. I think it's actually giving more notice, and not just in Texas or in Austin. You know, this Tejano music goes from East Coast to West Coast and everywhere in between. You know?
Yeah.
So
How would you like the genre to change at some point? Because some people are concerned. I think audiences are concerned that when it's like when you book a venue and you're not getting the response you want because some people either don't fully connect with the Hano culture or they're just or some artists are forgotten. Somebody will just throw a cover of another popular artist like Selena or
Right.
yeah, or you know or it might try to cover somebody to make up for that instead of like getting new material out there. So how do you think you can innovate on the genre?
well, historically, Tejano music is there's not really a whole lot of new Tejano music. You know, all the new in Tejano music it would be like in the past 5 or 6 years because everything before that are just songs that have been redone. You know, retempoed, actually made from a balada to a cumbia or to you know just switched around like musically. So there's really not a whole lot of new Tejano music, and I think it has to do with the way you know the crowd is gonna react to it because they the old schools, you know, the old school Tejano fans, they want their old school Tejano, you know,
Yeah.
and they're really closed doors into letting in new Tejano, which gives the new artist a very slim chance of actually impressing them, you know, and actually getting people to like their new music just because it doesn't sound like the old music, you know.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody. You ever